It's Week 10 of the National Football League, and the spotlight is on these Chiefs' sure-handed wide receiver. He comes in fourth in the NFL in receiving yardage. It's the Chiefs and the Broncos, and it's Kick It Off next on Madden NFL 25.
We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins... The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And a look here now at their fourth-year quarterback.
The secret to his game and his success? Incredible chemistry with each and every one of the guys he catches passes with him. And not only does he ask them to stay after practice or meet it before practice, he actually demands it because he knows if they have that kind of chemistry built up, they're going to be hard to beat each and every ball game.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. Now 2nd and 3. Here's the first carry of the game for Zach Moss. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A look there at the numbers last week for Moss. 14 carries, 67 yards.
Not a horrendous week last week running the ball, but definitely room for improvement for their numbers. No doubt they made some slight adjustments to how they're going to call plays this week in hopes they can kick those numbers up a notch.
First down, they stay with Moss on the ground. Yeah, boy, it is tough to bring him down that time. He surges forward. He's going to get a full 6 out of that. 2nd down. They'll go again here with Moss. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. You talk about this Chiefs defense. And they find themselves just outside the top 10 in the league against the pass, currently bringing up the number 11 spot.
I think if you talk to their head coach, you'll get a nice answer about how much he likes his team and what they're doing. But at the end of it, he will admit there's definitely room to improve.
Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Chiefs for their opening drive. It's Josh Allen that'll be orchestrating the offense, a 6'5" quarterback from Wyoming.
And no excitement unless you're on the defense. Last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. On the counter, it's Hall. Despite some tough running, he's still wrangled down shy of the 15. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long. Here's Allen. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
Here's the Chiefs punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Here comes Tony on the return. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. Play action, and now here's Purdy to throw it. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. You talk about this Chiefs defense. And they find themselves just outside the top 10 in the league against the pass, currently bringing up the number 11 spot.
And from analyzing them and talking with their defensive coordinator, we know they have a full playbook. So look for them to mix up coverages, pressure one play, fall back the next. They'll do a lot of different things trying to confuse the offense.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Purdy from the gun. He gets this one to Burks. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing here, Purdy. He gets it to Burks again. And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC. They'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27. Purdy. A short throw there to Strange. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Here is 3rd down and 4. Once more, Purdy looking to throw. He completes it to Henry. And he will have a Broncos first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now a 2nd and 2. Now Purdy. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Yeah, the Broncos are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. Here we go now on 1st and goal. Moss will take it in. Touchdown, Denver. So a good job there, Charles, taking advantage of the short field, and they score first, punching it in on the short touchdown run.
I love the theme there, right? They didn't have to do anything big on that drive. Took advantage of where they were on the field, took it downfield, put the ball in the end zone. The only thing big on that drive, the 6 on the scoreboard.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. That time a 9-play drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. 7-0 is our score. Ready for the dynamic kickoff as this one's away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
To the air, Allen. Short throw caught by Bowers. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. On play action, Allen. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
First down. First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Now Allen. That's caught. It's a rookie from Oregon. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Allen now looks to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
First and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Allen going to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Will McDonald gets in there to take him down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to...
And he's going to go down again. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
On 4th down, on his groupie to try the field goal.
This from 44 yards out, left hash. And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And coming out now, the Broncos.
They currently sit 1 game over 500. Team all year. Do you think that they have enough to get into the playoffs?
Well, you did mention they've been up and down all year, so to me, depends on what week you catch them. When they're at their best, I think they're definitely playoff worthy. But to me, they haven't been able to bring the intensity week in and week out, and that could be their Achilles heel.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
The second quarter from KC. It's the Chiefs in possession of the football.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Now Allen. And he will find his man on the outside. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's second and a yard.
A little short pass. This is Everett. First target, first catch, and a first down.
The Chiefs at 6-2 to start play. And they come in after a loss last time out, but they've still been in good form. They've won 6 of their last 8.
And it always hurts when you lose a tight game, as they did a week ago. I think each player starts thinking to himself, if I could have played better one play here, one play there, maybe it could have changed this team's fortunes. But it absolutely illustrates how important it is to play a complete game if you want to win in the NFL.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. In motion goes the tight end. Allen.
Looking for Hopkins, and he's got him on the crossing route.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another first down. Throwing now is Allen.
Over the middle, hooks up with the tight end Bowers. And the Chiefs are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
To throw, it's Allen. And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Gerald Everett. His second touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. They worked out for 6.
Grupe able to add the PAT.
And the lead is now 10-7. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
And Denver getting set to take the field.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Here's Purdy. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away.
Fighting him off. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense and Breece Hall headed out onto the field. And he's made his presence felt in the passing game throughout the season. You look at the NFL's leader in receiving yards by a running back. His name right there at the top.
Here's Allen to throw it. And he finds a man in a crossing route. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along there. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Here's 2nd and 10.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. Over the middle, complete. That's Johnson. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Hall on a give up the middle.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 41-yard line.
From the gun, it's Allen.
He gets it underneath to Hall.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Looking to throw. Allen.
That is caught. And he will have a Chiefs first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line.
Will McDonald.
That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen.
That's into the hands of his tight end, Bowers.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Here's Allen. It's complete to Hopkins. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And his kick is right there. It's good, and the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7.
Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
The Broncos about set to go on offense. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues. This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Going to the right here and finding Burks.
And he goes out right around the 39. The Broncos on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
Throwing here, Purdy. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Broncos first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
That's a much-needed accomplishment there on 3rd down. They've been forced to punt far too many times already. They needed something to go their way, and they're able to get a new set of downs.
They'll run on first down with Moss.
And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Defensive back Jamal Adams in on the stop.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Right back to Moss.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Purdy now to throw. Going to be taken in here by Nacua. And he'll be tackled after a gain of 4. Still 3 yards short. 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
The Chiefs offense have their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Allen now throwing to start the drive. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Back to throw. Allen. And he'll find Hall. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
To the air, Allen.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Again, they'll throw with Allen. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
Now 3rd down and very long. Straight ahead is Hall.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute.
Past the halfway point of the season and now past the halfway point of this game. We skip halftime and get right back to the action. Set to begin the 3rd quarter. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. He had the touchdown pass earlier, adding to his impressive season total as you take a look at the NFL leaders in touchdown passes at this point in the season.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Now Allen. It fights him off, but now he's swallowed up and taken down.
Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
So a tough situation to overcome here. 3rd and 17.
Operating from the gun, Allen. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
Here's the Chiefs punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
On the return, it's Tony.
It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line.
Purdy. They'll run the screen with Moss.
They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
Purdy looking to throw.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
You can see and feel the disappointment on that one because you saw some guys on the sidelines jumping up going, oh, no. Looked like they had that one set up well on 3rd down, but you got to give yourself time to get rid of the football.
Stays on his feet. 45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over.
The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long.
And the catch made by Hopkins. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Allen now looks to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now Allen. He finds his man, complete. That's Hall. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Allen. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Bowers. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Allen to throw once more. Caught left side, Hopkins. And down inside the 15 he goes.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Throwing now is Allen. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Josh Allen taking it in from 7 yards away.
And the Chiefs are able to stretch out their lead.
What an effort there. Sometimes you hold your breath a bit when you see your quarterback diving for the end zone. You don't want him to land on a shoulder wrong or take a big shot. But he looks none the worse for wear here, and that winds up a touchdown.
Allen will try to throw for it. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. And around the goal line, especially on two-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
So the Broncos coming out now.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Now Purdy.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. Pass complete there to Nacua. And he will have a Broncos first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Purdy will look to throw again here.
Short pass caught by Henry. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Here's Purdy. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Broncos first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. Back to throw, Purdy.
Short pass caught by Henry. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down.
Shotgun now with Purdy. He gets this one to Burks.
And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 32-yard line.
Once more, Purdy looking to throw.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
A 3rd quarter action from Kansas City. 2nd down and 10. Purdy from the gun.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds.
Play action, and now here's Purdy to throw it.
He's got a man. It's his fullback. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
Looking in zone, but it's incomplete.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
They'll try and run for this with Moss.
That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Into their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
Here's Allen. This pass out wide to Hall. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down.
Kansas City Chiefs. First down. First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Here's Allen to throw it. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Brian Brzee in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Even the most elusive quarterbacks have those tough days where they can't avoid sacks, and this is one of them. Third time he's gone down. He might develop some happy feet now, want to escape the pocket and try and gain more yardage with his legs.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Allen going to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. Third down.
It's now third down and 1.
To throw, it's Allen. Fighting to stay upright. Going deep for Hopkins. That's caught inside the 20. And he takes this in the red zone all the way inside Denver's 15. A big play there for KC. 44 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To the air, Allen.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Christian Fulton. And the Broncos are going to have it here.
I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
They go play action here, Purdy.
And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. 3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4.
Throwing here, Purdy.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Myers. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll try to run for it with Miller. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4.
But that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give him a lot of confidence to help turn things around. Here's J.K. Scott now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Powers through. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes the right read seemingly every time. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10. They'll give to Hall.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
The Chiefs on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Now Allen. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Chiefs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think he continued to do so.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 23 yards, the final tally.
The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
And the Chiefs are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Josh Allen taking it in from 7 yards away.
And the Chiefs look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
A point after, good by Grupe.
And the lead is up to 18 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Denver's offense now set to go. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Purdy now to throw. Going to be taken in here by Nacua.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 44-yard line.
Purdy. That's caught. Left side, it's Burks.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
He gets it to Burks again.
And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 30.
It's a gain of 10. And the Broncos first down.
Purdy off the play fake.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns, and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Throw left side complete. That's Miller.
Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. Purdy looking to throw.
Nowhere to go here. He lost keeps the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
They'll start on the ground. Hall, and he'll be taken down at about the 45.
The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Hall again on 2nd down.
And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
From midfield, here's Allen.
And check down, complete to Hall.
Only able to gain a couple there, and that'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest.
They begin with a run by Miller.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Troy Anderson, the man on the tackle.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Now Purdy.
And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Out of the gun, Purdy. And that one too wide and incomplete.
Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
That is caught.
Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first, thanks to a flashy little spin move.
Here's Purdy.
Short pass caught. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
Shotgun now with Purdy. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
So 2 third down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a third, and now they deal with 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Purdy from the gun. He gets this one to Burks.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Back to throw again.
Short pass caught by Henry. And he will have a Broncos first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down. Play action. Now Purdy.
And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Purdy with one final shot here.
And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for the Chiefs, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.